10 to 11 a.m. here on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Tampa Bay's Tan Talk. Entertaining and informative radio for the Sunshine State.
Stay right there. The Shrink and Wrap Show starts right now.
Tell me something, girl. Are you happy in this modern world? Or do you need more? Is there something else you're searching for? I'm falling. In all the good times I find myself longing for change, and in the bad times I fear myself.
Tell me something, boy. Aren't you tired trying to fill that void? Or do you need more? Ain't it hard keeping it so hardcore? I'm falling. In all the good times I find myself longing for change, and in the bad times I fear myself. I'm up the deep end, watch as I dive in. I'll never leave the ground. Crash through the surface when they can't hurt us. We're far from the shallow now. In the shallow, in the shallow. In the shallow, we're far from the shallow now.
And hello out there. This is Tracy from the Shrink and Wrap Show. I hope everyone's doing great and you want to leave the station right here today. It's 106.1 Tan Talk Radio, and you're listening to the Shrink and Wrap Show. And that was Shallow. Can anyone tell me who sings that song?
Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga. And one more. That's very important.
Yes.
Bradley Cooper.
Bradley
Ooh la
Cooper.
la.
Yeah. What'd you say? Say that again.
Ooh la la.
Ooh la la is right. So, so today we are going to be talking about dating. And are you comfortable in this modern world? Well, that's the $1 million question. That's why you want to stay here, because we are going to start right here at the Shrink and Wrap Show, a series on dating in a modern world. I have had so many people come to me and say, hey, can we do a dating show? So I have a list of women that want to do it, and any gentleman that would like to come on and talk about it, feel free to give us a call, and you're welcome to come on and talk about it as well. And Ed, can I ask you a question? Can I get questions through email? Like, can people send in questions on our series of datings?
You'd have to give out your personal email address.
Oh, I ain't doing that. I can tell you that right now. I mean, I can create one though, right?
You can create one.
Okay,
yes.
so maybe we'll do that for the next upcoming shows. So if you have any, we'll announce it. I might announce it before my next show. If you have any questions or concerns about today's dating, because it is a very different world. Would you say it's a modern world, ladies?
Totally.
Yeah.
It's
So-
way different than it was.
It-
Just
yeah.
set up something like WTAN Shrink and Wrap.
Yeah, that's what we'll do. And then next week I can do some little teasers, right? Because I don't know anything about what I'm doing. You know, I'm learning as I go. So I can put it on, I can come in here, record it, and we can announce it through the week for next week's show. So we have today the Shrink and Wrap Show. If you're new to our show, what it is, it's exactly what it says. It's the Shrinks, and they are licensed therapists who offer their opinions, and they give opinions and suggestions to everyday topics, as well as my raps, who are friendships and people in our community who give their opinions and suggestions. And like Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper, you listen to the lyrics in the songs. The lyrics in the songs have a lot of answers if you really pay attention to lyrics. And they were talking about today's modern world. So stay tuned with us. But before we get started to our show or into our show, I'd like to make a couple of announcements. First of all, this is a community station. It is definitely sponsored. First of all, I'd like to thank my sponsor, but I'd also like to say it's sponsored through the love of friendships, as my ladies here today, and friendship of businesses in the community. And we're just here to make our community bigger and better, and because you matter and everybody matters. So I also would like to wish Bo out there a happy birthday in April. There's a lot of April birthdays. I would like to give a shout out to everybody out there who has an April birthday. And I want you to live your best life. And we're going to also talk about, we have a guest here today, Karen, who's going to be talking about dating 101. Oh boy, hold on to your hat. Do not change 106.1 from TAN Talk Radio Shrink and Wrap Show, because it's going to be a very interesting show. We have Gucci Girl today, Luann. Luann, thank you for coming last minute. Thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure, always.
And we're going to tie in. You were on our show last week where we were talking about Journey, and there's some great love songs from Journey. And you are going to introduce us at the second half of the show of a cover band that sings a great Journey song, right? And you're going to introduce them.
They sound so much like Journey, and they sing in the original key that the songs were recorded in. And they are from Arizona, which is where I dated when I was after my divorce.
So we'll be able, so you could give some experience here too.
Some Arizona
thank you.
history.
Yeah, thank you. So this is a show coming up, so don't change your dial if you're out there listening. And we also have Detective Jay. And what is your topic going to be today?
Well, given your topic, I'm definitely going to do something on romance scams and real Romeos and Juliets or not out there.
Oh, dang, girl.
Yes.
Can you have a series on that? Because I don't think that's going to be a 5-minute segment. I love it too.
I love that series because when we were talking about it, and
on the way
given
over.
the experts we have today, these ladies here, I'm like, I love that. And I actually have some experience with that.
Yes.
I do.
So don't change that dial. Again, you're listening to 106.1 TAN Talk Radio. You're listening to the Shrink and Wrap Show. So I also would like to we like to do beauty. It's living your best life here.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to share. And like when we get together at lunches and dinners and all of my friends, we all share with one another. Then you don't feel alone. And that's how we want you to feel as a listener, not to feel alone. And men, this isn't just for women. It's for you too. So this is all about making it better and figuring life out.
And speaking of men, Hollywood Chris is playing golf, but he has this live streaming with his friends today.
He does. Well, hello, Hollywood Chris.
Hollywood Chris. He is live streaming on his phone with his friends on the golf course.
Friends. Well, hello, guys.
I love golf course.
Yeah.
Timbers, I believe, is where they're playing today. Yeah.
Well, this one over here is free. She's single.
Oh, he's
and
got a
she
single
plays
friend.
golf. She does.
Right.
He absolutely does.
We'll have Hollywood Chris Google in and we'll look. Actually, I have a list of them out there.
Okay.
And she's a good golfer, though, too.
Say big highs to Hollywood Chris, Tracy there.
That's
okay.
Right. Hello, all you men out there. So we've got about 2 minutes before we get to our shrink. But Karen, Karen actually lives in my neighborhood. Okay, so we've had many conversations about dating, and so I said, why don't you come on the show and talk about it? But in order to start dating, I think it's good to feel your best self. What do we do in the neighborhood? Will you just share with in 30 seconds what we do in the neighborhood? Sometimes
we get a group of fun, crazy women, and we talk about the latest beauty trends.
I love it.
The latest hair things.
I want to be invited. I love it.
Anytime.
I'm not in your neighborhood. I'm close though.
We're going to do it right here in the Shrink and Wrap Show.
I'm close.
Is it like in the driveway?
Yeah.
No, it's in my kitchen.
Your house is always clean.
Of course, we bring wine because that always makes things better.
Yeah.
And we have little snacks, but Tracy has an amazing assortment of products
Yes.
that she's represented, and we all just like drool over everything.
Well, tell me your top 3.
Probably, I love the Tarte lip pencil in mauve. I shouldn't have said the name.
No, you need to say it.
Mauve, because everybody's going to go buy it, and I won't be able to find it now. It's my favorite, and it's universal for every skin tone. I love the Air Wrap.
Yes.
And she knew how to demo that like with her eyes shut. And it was so super easy. Any hairstyle or any hair type. I also love the microdermabrasion for your face.
That's with Beauty Bio from hsn.com.
Okay. Yeah. That has the red light in it,
Yeah.
which is supposed to be really super important.
So if any product you buy, she's got a tool where it's micro needling at home. So any of your favorite products and or other vendor products, you do that, and then the
Collagen.
the product gets
Yeah.
inside
Yes.
and in the dermis instead of she describes it as cash in the trash, because you're just putting products on top of your face and it's just rubbing. It does no good.
Yeah.
You're putting it inside.
Yeah, I love
so
it.
I like that no matter what product you have.
Yep.
And as you know, and we're going to switch over real quick to our Loosen Up song so I don't lose Roween, but there's a great lip liner by Nakery as well. It's called it's a nude one. It's
Absolutely.
universal.
I've got it moisturizes.
Yeah, she's got a new lip coming out. So I'm a lipstick holic. I'm a makeup crazy junkie. I am. Thank you. I'm glad you said it for me. So I like to share.
But that's a good thing.
Yeah. And recently too, just to let you know, I've been advertising this. It's Rose Romance by Nakery.
Beautiful.
So they're all kinds. But we'll be talking about beauty techniques. But Ed, let's go to our Loosen Up song and lead into dating. But you got to take care of yourself, ladies, before you start dating.
I don't care if Monday's blue, Tuesday's grey, and Wednesday too. Thursday, I don't care about you. It's Friday, I'm in love. Monday, you can fall apart. Tuesday, Wednesday, break my heart. Oh, Thursday doesn't even start. It's Friday, I'm in love. Saturday night, Sunday always comes too late. Friday never hesitates. I don't care if Monday's
Okay, ladies. So we're having a difficult time getting involved to get in touch with our shrink number 4 right now, Roween. So what'd you think about that song?
I love it.
Okay.
It's happy.
It's happy. But did you listen to the lyrics? What did you get out of the lyrics?
I'm in love.
I'm in love when?
Certain days of the week.
Yep.
I think he said he was only in love
Tuesday,
on
Wednesday.
Friday.
Yeah.
Was it Tuesday, Thursday?
I think
We're not good listeners.
There was
Monday.
something during the week,
Yeah.
but there was one day I'm in love
Monday.
with you. I think it was Friday.
Only Friday.
Yeah.
So if you're dating, I'm calling Roween right now, just to let y'all know. This is live stuff going
This
on.
is live.
Yeah.
There it goes.
So if they're only in love on Friday, they text you, you're going out on dating, and then you don't know like if they're going to call you back, but he's only in love on Friday, right?
Yeah. Because that's the night he wants to have a girl on his arm.
Yeah. So but the thing is, it leaves you hanging when you're dating somebody. You're
Absolutely.
like, okay, so what does that mean when you only want to be in love on Friday? And then that gets into a woman's head of,
You're not dating with intention.
you're right, you're not dating with intention. So Karen, let's while we're trying to get with Roween, I'm not quite sure what's going on there, but let's tell me what your concerns are about dating.
Well, if you've been in a long-term marriage like I have, or I'm in my 60s.
Are you married?
I'm not married.
Not
I was
married.
married for 24 years. I've
Okay.
been divorced for a while. I think it's hard when you meet people that if your timing is the same, like if you've been divorced for a while and you're kind of through the preliminary dating stages, now you're kind of looking for a relationship. Are you going to be able to seek someone who's in the same stage as you are? Because I don't want to be a rebound person, right?
That's important.
And they still need to go through those stages as they're
Right.
searching and things too.
All right.
And I think it's difficult. And I kind of want to be with somebody who's, not had like a 3-year marriage, 2-year marriage, 1-year marriage. Men will say, oh, I was married for 3 years. Like it's forever or something. And I'm like 24, 25 years. And so I'm not afraid of commitment, obviously. But I just want us to kind of be in the same stage of life.
Right.
Right.
So what's the problem?
I wish I knew.
Yeah.
I wish I knew.
So
The
is
lack
it,
of men out there. I don't know.
do you think it's the lack of men, or do you think that your standards are high?
My standards are high, and I think sometimes my kids think my standards are too high,
Okay.
and I'm too super picky. Like my daughter will say, "Oh, he's actually a contender." You know, do you ever like anybody, Mom? And I do think there are things that you can compromise on, but I'm not going to just throw in the towel and just. I don't need to be with somebody to be with somebody.
Right. You don't
Right?
need to, and I don't mean to put this in a bad way, but you don't want to settle.
Not at all. I have a great life by myself.
And speaking of that, I got a great song at the end for that comment right there. Do not settle. So, but this is the thing, like for you, so you have expectations. Do you think there's a chance that you're more confident? And a lot of men are married and committed now. Like, so the percentage of finding that shoe that fits because your confidence is so much better, it's probably difficult to find.
It is.
So
Or
we
they're
go back to the
intimidated by
standards.
it.
Well, okay, ladies, any question on that? Men feeling
I didn't quite understand that. They're intimidated by what?
They're intimidated by confidence sometimes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know, I used to have men that would say, if they saw me out at a restaurant, just by the way I sit or the way I talk with my friends,
Your
that they don't
presence.
think I'm approachable.
Oh, okay. I can understand that.
Ed,
And
any
that's not
comment?
a good thing sometimes.
Any comment on that? Do you let me know if you don't want me to bug you today, because I won't, but I'm just asking that.
I got to think about that.
Okay.
Okay.
Very, you know what? I like that he's
I
thinking.
have a girlfriend listening, and she's texting me, and she's saying that men today are immature and they just don't want to commit.
Oh,
And I agree.
you think?
Yeah.
Or
See-
they don't want to rise to the occasion.
Maybe they've been married already once before and they just don't want to go down that road. They just kind of want to have like fun now,
Maybe they've been hurt,
you know?
and or is a good word jaded, but I think women are jaded.
Oh, I think women can be jaded also.
I think that can be
Yeah.
a problem, but I definitely think that men, it's a sensitive subject for them too. You know what I mean? I think it's hard for them to approach women because today, if you approach a woman, you're going to be in trouble. You know what I mean? If they look at you, they're going to be in trouble. Like, it's not back in the day. Would y'all agree to that? Like back in the day, a guy can complimentary look at you. Nowadays, there's so many sensitivity and boundaries.
Well, it's all the PC stuff going on.
Oh, they don't.
Politically
sometimes-
correct stuff.
Yeah, but a lot of times they don't even look at you. They're so
Well, 'cause they're scared to.
They're looking on their phone or
Yeah.
they're looking down. They don't even want to engage. I mean, you go to the gym, you go to a restaurant, you go to a bar, and everybody's just in their own little zone. They don't even want to have like social interaction with. They don't even look up and kind of look and see what's around in the room.
But I think the men feel that way about women. Like, they're always like, if they go to approach a woman, they're always in their phone. You know what I mean? I think a lot of men feel that way too. I'm playing because to me, it's like I try to take things from perspective from men as well, because I feel like they have feelings, and I think there's a lot of women that, and I'm all about women, trust me, but I'm also about men and the way, you know, I have a son now, so I see the other side of the emotions, and guys have feelings too, you know, and so anyway, let's talk about this. So that's really good for starters, and I appreciate your friend's comment on that.
And they don't want to be men don't want to be rejected either.
Yeah, it's
There's that.
well, think about that.
Ego.
Yeah, because
Well, you know.
Rowene's on. Okay, great.
Okay,
Well,
great.
perfect timing
Perfect
because
timing. Perfect.
hi, Rowene, our shrink number 4. How you doing today?
Hi. Good.
Hi,
How are
Rowene.
you?
Doing good. I'm not a
Hi.
shrink, but I was just faking it for a minute. But
We played one on TV.
I was faking it, staying in the present moment. So thank you for joining us. As you know, we want to talk about, we got some ladies here, we got different opinions, but really we don't. But we want to try to figure out the psychology of dating. And I want to take that very first step. It's a modern world today, Rowene. And I've had a lot of requests for people saying, can you do a show about dating? It's the same feeling across the board. No one wants to make a commitment. And compared to older ways to now, can you help us with that? We have a guest on, Karen, that's going to be interacting with you.
Hi, Rowene.
Hi.
So I'll let you two take it away.
All right. How do you, what's your first question? Because this is a big area. We can talk about lots of things.
Well, we have a series going on for a full month and maybe longer. It could be the dating game for a year. But we're starting a series, but I wanted like a lot of women, and we're going to go into the age range right now because a lot of people like Karen was divorced. And I'm playing a lot of 80s music today to tie into today's segment. But I feel like after divorce, it is kind of difficult because it is a modern world of dating. And it seems like it's just a yes, no, it's a resume now. So can you help us with psychology? Let's start with the first step, like Karen, after divorce. Can you help us with all that?
Well, the first step is always to make sure your self-esteem it has a good, solid foundation. Because the world of dating online is from ghosting, con artists, various scams, conversations that go on for maybe a week and then they disappear. And it's so important for us not to take that personally. Because that's not about us. It's about them. So we have to have our self-worth and self-esteem in a good spot.
Are you there? Oh, we lost you, Rowene. Can you give us a call back? Give us a call back. And then I'm going to fill in some stuff that I read, because dating now is significantly different from the past. So like she was saying, it's marked by the rise of online dating, and the society expectations are so much different. So in the old days, there was traditional courtship, where dating was a formal process and families played roles of introducing and introductions and expectations. And then there was an emphasis on commitment. So we're going to go back to Rowene. She's back on the line. Rowene, I was comparing old time dating to modern dating, but go ahead and finish where you were at.
Right. Well, I was just saying that whether you're male or female, when you set out on the journey of dating, you have to have your self-esteem and self-worth in a pretty solid place. Because there's lots of things that when we first started dating, we didn't have to deal with. Online, websites, Facebook, all the love.
I agree.
There's many things that can go on with that idea that we're not face to face.
Or if you're actually talking to the person that is on the other end, for real.
We're going to have a segment on that. That's where Janice will come in too.
It's the real person.
There's catfishing, there's ghosting, there's what are they called? Nigerian princes. There's all kinds.
Or the truth about their age or where they live,
But
or
women do
if they're
it too.
even married still. Yeah. There's a lot.
Yeah.
If their picture is
And
current.
Yes.
Oh, current picture.
Yes.
Yes.
Or Photoshop.
If I see a Polaroid, there's a problem. You have to be my age to know what a Polaroid is.
And then if they live far away,
Yeah.
Yes, that you'll get messages from. I mean, I'm dating. I'm on some of the sites. I say I want somebody in the local area, and somebody in California will send me a like and want to have a discussion. So, and from the female side, it feels like they don't even read the your profile. They just look at your pictures, and if they like your pictures, they'll say they like you.
Yeah. I just feel like the substance is probably missing a little bit the quality of an emotional. Would you say that compared to back in the day?
It almost sounds like instead of fishing for a certain type of fish, they're throwing out a big net, and whatever they catch in it, that's what they go by.
Right.
Right?
And sometimes that's right. And sometimes they will respond. Sometimes they don't. It's
because they're only in love on Fridays.
As much as a part-time job.
It's a way to go
It
through.
can be as time-consuming as a part-time job.
It's a way to go through more women faster. It's a way to see more women quicker in a quicker time
If
frame.
the women allow it.
Yeah.
You know, if you're I mean, it says right here, more casual interactions of what you're saying. It says there's a greater emphasis in today's modern dating. There's a greater emphasis on casual dating hookups and exploring different relationship types. How does one, how do you address that on both sides? If you're looking for a serious relationship, you just
right. If you're looking, date it.
Right.
Date, I'm looking for a serious relationship. Now, do they always pay attention to that? No, they don't. I had someone say, I'm looking for a casual encounter. Well, you didn't read this. That's not what I'm looking for.
But
So what about, have you ever had anybody like reach out and you weren't really sure if they were legitimate? I think she had something like that.
She's going to be talking about that in her segment. Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah, absolutely. There are many. I've noticed that there are certain buzzwords. Widow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a widow. I work on an oil rig.
Punctuation in the profile is a big one.
Punctuation or lack of punctuation.
So let me ask you this. How soon after you meet somebody online dating do you think it's appropriate that you should meet face-to-face and forget the constant back and forth emails or text messages, or give them your number offline? What do you think is a safe area for that?
Yeah, I say the safe area for phone number is within a week.
Okay.
And to meet within 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
If they can't meet you, if they can't find something in 2 weeks. Now, I have worked with other people who will only wait, but they want to meet within the first week. So I think that can be a personal preference, but in order not to get caught up in texting and whatever else, pen pals or whatever else they might be doing, to have an in-person meeting within 1 to 2 weeks.
Okay, and another question for me is, do you think it's kind of like the candy store? They're always looking for the bigger, better deal, the shinier toy over there, the better tasting candy, and you're good, but oh my gosh, I might have something better over here. And it's just a revolving door after a while. It gets frustrating.
It is. And research statistically tells us that more choices make more difficult decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Create more anxiety, but what if I can find something better and less commitment?
Because how can you really get to know somebody if you're doing the same thing with 4 or 5 other people? I mean, I read something the other day. I thought this was a great analogy. If you have 6 televisions on and they're all the same level volume, but there's 6 different shows and you're trying to watch them all simultaneously. And I say, tell me about show number 3 on that TV. Would you actually really be able to tell me from beginning to end of that 30-minute segment what that was about? Or would it intertwine with the other 5 TV shows you were watching, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
A great analogy.
Yeah,
Yes.
I thought it was like in my head, I'm like, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like, I personally feel like the phone is a really big problem. I mean, meet and then talk. I mean, with just texting and stuff, I just feel like you have to talk on the phone.
Absolutely.
You have to see one another and you have to grow the seed of emotion to make a connection. I personally, with all the stories, I have a ton of friends. By the way, you're listening to the Shrink and Wrap show right here at 106.1. This show is sponsored by Love and Friendships and Community. But I hear it, and to me, it's like if you don't create an emotional connection, that's what you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and to me, if I were somebody, I would say, you need to call me. If you're texting late, then you can text, but don't just text me a conversation.
Yeah, don't substitute texting for a conversation.
Right.
Right.
But that's the generation now. That's what they do.
But that's not who I'm dating, though.
Right.
Listen, it's a hollow bunny. You have to have substance. And then men, I've read a lot. Rowan, we can get into this another show. I got a feeling I'm going to be here till December about talking about this.
Because I got to go.
Oh, you got to go? Oh, my gosh. Okay. You have a closing statement. Then I'm going to say this to the wraps. What's your closing statement?
My closing statement is know your own boundaries and don't let yourself get pushed out of them by social media, by anything. Know your boundaries.
Right. Know your boundaries. And Rowene, thank you so much. As everyone knows, Rowene donates her time as all my other shrinks do. And thank you for taking the time out. We'll see you next week, but this is going to be an ongoing topic. This is just the beginning of it. I'm actually looking forward to it.
Nice talking to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye, Rowene.
So before we go to the main song, and I'm going to delay it just a little bit, but don't you really think that is the problem? I've read stuff about an emotional connection, and typically I do think men and women think a little different. I'm not saying all of us do,
Absolutely.
but I would say I think there's a high percentage that we are a little different. by nature. And typically they say men need more of an emotional, women kind of know here. Men, it takes a while, maybe because we have babies, I don't know. But to tap into an emotional connection is kind of the way I would think would be a natural growth for a healthy relationship, for someone you really care about.
I do too. And I think personally it involves that word we all hate, vulnerability.
Yeah.
You know, because you kind of have to let your walls down a little bit to be emotionally connected. But the way I look at it, I'd rather take them down and take a chance, or you're never going to find love. I mean, you're always just going to hang out with your friends, you know, or good buddies or anything. But who do you think has a problem being more vulnerable, a man or a woman?
I think men do.
I think, well, as a woman, we probably was going to say man, and then
So
as
I
like,
think-
maybe
I think so too.
Men, you think?
I do.
I do.
Okay. Because sometimes watching The Bachelorette or Bachelor,
Yeah.
you see women, they get right to that point and the guy's like, if she would just open up to me more. But I don't think we can make this work if she's not willing to. And then the lady always has a good story, you know?
Yeah, but there's like 5 other women competing for the same
25.
guy. You know, I understand that to
25.
some degree. Yeah,
Yeah.
25 people.
Yeah.
But
and
but
they
you-
talk about that too.
Yeah.
But the interesting about The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, and they had and I've said it on the show before, and I got to find it. But they said what was really neat about the show was the real idea of dating in real life, that it's the compatibility, the common interests, the things they do together, the connection that brings them together, even though that's not a reality show, but they have done studies about all that. And the one thing I want to read too, it says here too, like attraction, people are drawn to those who are similar to themselves, and demonstrating similarities can create a sense of connection and compatibility. But I also would like to add here that, Karen, you know, dating, one thing it does, and say if this is true or false, you've been married forever, and I know you're married. So,
No,
but you,
Well, I got married
you
when
divorced?
I was married when I was 39.
Okay, so you
I-
guys can identify with
I
this.
was married for 22 years.
Well, I'm
and
so-
divorced 4 years ago.
Oh, well, there you go. So you've got experience for this. So I just don't want to get y'all in trouble if you're with somebody.
I am.
But okay, so it says here that everyone can contest this. It says dating can be a great way to learn more about oneself, including what one likes and dislikes, and what works and doesn't work in relationships. So really, it's not a waste for yourselves. Have you learned, all of you have dated, have you learned more about yourself by dating, about what is right for you and what isn't? Is that a true statement?
Yes, you learn.
I think so.
think
What you
learn.
tolerate and what you won't
You learn
tolerate.
what you
Yeah.
want, what you don't want.
So it's not
I
a
just
waste.
have a little statement about that. I think you just have to kiss a lot of frogs to catch a prince.
I ain't
There
kissing
you go.
frogs. I saved a frog last night in a cup, and I threw the cup away.
Oh, no.
I don't want any warts.
No, I'm not.
And
I'm being
sometimes
funny.
frogs are okay.
I do frogs. No, but I love your statement. I'm being funny.
Yeah, true.
No, I'm being funny. I have friends that have done that, and they're married to the right one.
Yeah.
But the one question I have too, Karen, how do you feel when you're going out with a bunch of different frogs, and then one frog comes in? And what do you do then? Like, and you're sitting at the table, like that to me
Like
is
when
like,
Prince
how do you
comes in.
lie?
Yeah.
No, but
yeah.
how do you multiple?
I think that frog's supposed to be a prince.
Yeah,
Okay.
he turned into. Well, that's a great segue to. I want to ask a question that you brought up earlier.
Yeah.
Chemistry. We all know, and we all
3
want
minutes.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Important.
can you turn a relationship that you don't have chemistry with somebody into getting chemistry, or do you? I mean, I want it all.
Yeah.
Or do you want chemistry and just hopefully everything else falls into place?
I've heard it can happen, but I've never experienced
I've never
that.
experienced it either.
I think, look, can I tell you what I've learned from that?
Sure.
From
Yeah.
many conversations and readings and all that, that lust is a temporary thing. So you have to be careful if there's strong chemistry on both things. So if you have, and I'm not a shrink, but in my opinion, when you have a strong lust, that doesn't last. Lust doesn't. And that's where you have to build, and you have to take it kind of slow for it to work out. And that's where that connection comes.
But you want attraction.
Yeah, you do,
Well-
but you got to take it slow and
Yeah.
get to know them, because it can ruin it. Because then when you get to know that layer, you got to let it grow slowly.
Okay.
Lust is
Yeah.
very real, but it's
No, it
different than
is.
love. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I agree with you, though. I think it's important.
Yeah.
So I think I'm the only one here that's still married. With that 25 years last year. So
Don't say knock on wood, please. Don't put the
I
ring in.
know. Thank you, God. Seriously.
Yeah.
And as you know, you have to grow with that. And we've talked about that before, but you definitely, I think you get chemistry as you grow.
Yeah.
And I noticed through things that my husband and I did together, like equestrian and stuff like that,
Mhm.
we grew and got more chemistry as well. It was
Well-
interesting. We layered on that chemistry in our life.
Compatibility.
But I definitely
Yeah.
think there's different layer. I think there's different love, like a different
Yes.
yeah,
Oh,
levels
yes.
of love. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. So I
But-
agree. I
But
appreciate that.
it adds chemistry when you do different things as you grow.
Right.
Yeah, another component.
I want to say that I think that one of the things that's a big turnoff is you're getting to know somebody is when you try to change that person.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And also, first 2 weeks that you meet, I'm not real high on texting because texting doesn't show emotion.
I agree.
And I think that maybe the first week is okay. Between that next week, there has to be some FaceTime because then that kind of keeps while you're in your own element, that you can feel safe and then speak to that person where you're around nobody you know or whatever, but you're at least at home and you can, and because you can tell a lot FaceTime because a lot of them won't. That knocks out half the losers.
Or just being secure, being safe.
Yeah, and it's easy for them to open up and you to open up because you're not in a strange environment. So I think that's a must.
And I love hearing that from Ed's perspective because men matter too in my show. And I think it's important to hear them because they have emotions too. You know what I mean? And there's some bad women, there's some bad guys and blah, all that. But I agree with you too, Ed. I think that going into a relationship is so important for someone not to change you and to keep your identity throughout the process and in a marriage. I think having your identity, don't ever lose it to anybody. But let's just go. Any closing statements before I go to my main song? And we're going to have like a dream date right now through the next song. I love this next song, but any closing statements? You'll be coming back. We're all going to come back here. And this is going to be going on. I'm not kidding. Probably until December.
I might be in the nursing home.
We're going to have you
at the end of this.
Maybe we'll have a dating game. Maybe we'll have a dating game on the Shrink and Wrap show right here at 106.1.
Awesome.
I'll see if we can arrange something like that. But let me ask you, any closing statements before I go to this dream date?
I just think you have to keep your hopes high, be positive, and I love what Rowan said, know your standards, know your worth, and don't compromise yourself for other people because we all have good lives and I want somebody to enhance it. You know, I want the cherry on top.
Yeah. And an emotional connection. Yeah. You want to grow. That doesn't happen overnight. It's like a lima bean. You got to let it grow, but it's got to happen. So let it happen without
water it.
Yeah. Without, oh no, this doesn't work. No, that's not, he's not this, he's not that. Check, give it a chance if there's an attraction, in my opinion. So let's take this is a song from Prince. And by the way, my mother loves Purple Rain. Mom, I'm just saying it. I'll play that another day. But so let's listen to this one by Prince and the Revolution. This is like a dream date. That's the way it should be, right? Just take me with you. They both have that same chemistry and they're going to go together and they're going to get to know one another and they don't care where they go. Right?
Go together.
Go together. That's right. Well, and I'm going to, before we go to nonprofit, Luann, I would like to go to you really quick because, Ed, can we play this journey because it kind of ties in, and then I'm going to switch to Trish for nonprofit. You're listening to the Shrink and Wrap Show right here at 106.1 Tan Talk Radio, your community station in Clearwater, Florida. Luann, let's take a listen to this tune and you tell us about it.
Always another show. Wondering where I am lost without you. And think about it easy on this love affair. Two strangers meant to fall in love again. Now if you got you read yourself and go. Oh, you stand by me. I'm forever yours.
Would you say that's the goal?
Yes.
All right, Luann, introduce us to that that band, that cover band in 3 minutes because I have Trish coming on.
That was a live version, as you can tell. There's a little background noise in there, but that was not Steve Perry. That was Darwin Santos from the tribute journey band called Voyager. They're out in Arizona, and
they sound great.
He sings
amazing.
He sings in the same key that song was originally recorded in. So in that high key that Steve Perry originally recorded in. And I think it's kind of appropriate because Rowena, if you notice at the beginning of the show, says we're going to be talking about our journey of dating.
That's
So
right.
I'm
Journey of dating. See,
So
you're thinking out of the box.
She was already thinking too.
So that's our goal, right, Karen, this song?
Yes.
So when you listen to the lyrics, maybe that kind of helps a little bit. So thank you for that, Luann. You're definitely going to come back on, and we're going to be talking more about this cover band and journey and dating. And I love that you have some expertise that you can share with us. So, all right, let's switch over. Thank you so much. And we'll be playing more from that band in the future shows. So let's go over to our nonprofit because we're running low on time. And is Trish on the line?
Hi, yes, I'm here. Hello.
Hi, Trish. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Trish.
Hi, Trish.
Hi. Hey, Luann, could we get Voyager and Darwin to come into studio?
Oh my God. Would be amazing to have these guys, the whole band come out.
Well, they're welcome to come. It's
Oh
an
my-
open show. It's community station, and it's all about
From
love.
Arizona?
Yeah,
They
tell 'em. Yeah.
tune in from Arizona?
Oh, yeah. They could
What?
probably do that, Ed. Yes or no? Can they tune in
Yeah,
from
they should be
Arizona?
able to live stream.
All right. Well, there you go. Make it a date next week. Are you single? Because Karen's single, you know.
And they're all married.
Yeah, okay,
But
they're
they're
great.
good
Okay.
guys.
Okay, let's go to nonprofits because we're running low on time. Thank you so much, Trish. What do we got going on in Tampa Bay for nonprofits?
Okay, Friday, April 4th, which is tomorrow, Keys to Comfort is hosting dueling pianos to benefit the Life Center at the Italian Club in Tampa Bay on 7th Avenue. Eventbrite.com for more info on that. Also Friday, the 3rd annual Stories of Hope, which is a night of fundraising to support the Timothy Initiative, which supports men in need. And that's at the Portico Cafe, North Florida Avenue in Tampa. Again, Eventbrite for more info on that.
Nice.
Saturday, April 5th is the Heroes Ball benefiting the St. Joseph Children's Hospital Nurse Navigation Program. That's at the JW Marriott, Tampa Water Street, sjhfoundation.org for more info on that. Thursday, April 10th, Helping Hands Happy Hour benefiting Stairway for Heroes. They provide support for veterans. That's at the Center Club in Tampa on West Shore. Eventbrite for more info. Friday, April 18th, there's going to be a night of science and service supporting our community at Mosey over on Fowler Avenue in Tampa. And they'll have museum exhibits, food, guest speakers, and raffle prizes on that.
That's cool.
And then Thursday, April 24th, a night out west benefiting Mary Lee's House at Armature Works, maryleeshouse.org. And finally, I need to speak about my pets, of course. Saturday, April 26th is the Pet Fest at Seminole Heights, and that features craft beer, food, and a pop-up dog park bar, along with other pet-friendly activities, including adoptables. That's from 10 to 3 in Seminole Heights, and that's eventbrite.com for more info.
Well, that's wonderful. Thank you for all that information. Again, this station, the Shrink and Wrap Show, is all about love, and you give love, and you also give love, and you take in love, and so it's a balance of giving back. Spread it around. That's right. So thank you, Trish, for all that information. We're running down on time. We will see you next week, and I'm going to switch it over to Detective Jay about dating in 3 minutes. What you got going
3
on?
minutes.
I'm
I can't.
sorry.
I did this for 22 years. Come
I
on,
know.
3 minutes.
Sorry.
Well, it's okay because when we
You come back on for all the series.
Thank you. It developed over many, many years. So I said in the beginning, we want to talk about faults, Romeos, and Juliets.
Yes.
Just as many on both sides.
Yes.
And basically, this does not start over like a wham bam, thank you, ma'am. This is something that these faults, Romeos, and Juliets, they're luring you in. And I actually saw this. It happened on my ranch with one of the folks that was working out there. She had a relationship for almost 2 years while she was out there helping take care of her horses and stuff. And I continually said to her, it doesn't sound right. You know, he was overseas. He was, you know, every time they went to meet, they never met. So, I mean, I saw this close up and personal. And so what you have to be really careful of is certain things that come up, texting from the wrong number, or you get a text and all of a sudden they want to be super involved with you. Just a real quick fact is 40% of people who told the Federal Trade Commission or the FTC that they lost money in a romance scam in 2023, they reported it, and that was always on social media.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Very
a thought.
good point. I want to touch on that next week.
Yeah.
And it's happening to our elderly too, because when people are lonely, they're vulnerable.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, because I do want to say, when I say Romeo and Juliet, I'm talking about all ages out there. And again, it's very difficult. Social media it can be very evil. You have to be very careful what you're doing out there with social media, because they can dig. And these people, again, and we'll talk about this long term, they get into your life little by little by little. It's not a big immediate thing.
Right. I really want to have like a half a show on that, or 20 minutes on that. So we're focused. Yeah. Because that's so
and let's
good
get
to know.
some real cases and talk about it.
Bring that back on next week, because that is very important. I think that kind of prevents people from dating.
I mean, have several friends this has personally happened to.
Yeah. So we need more information. So can you bring more information next week of how to be safe for all ages?
Yeah.
Because it's terrifying.
One of my biggest fears when I started dating was dating someone that wasn't who they said they were.
Yeah.
You know, and being scammed, or who is this person telling me the truth?
It really happens.
It's one of my biggest fears.
Cool. Well, so next week, let's make that a focus topic on the second half of the hour. So I feel bad, ladies. I'm at 3:53. This is what I'm saying. We're going to be talking on this. I'm not going to stop until we're finished talking about it. But do we have Renee on the line? Thank you for that, Detective Jay.
You got it.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Renee.
Hi, Renee.
Thank you. We got Renee around Tampa Bay. She's going to be talking about events, and we've got 2 minutes, my sweet friend.
Oh, okay, my friends. Forget about the events. If I could chime in on this conversation for 1 second.
Okay.
I agree. I so agree that you have. It's two things that I say. It's slow and steady wins the race.
Yes.
And life is a dance. You learn as you go, and you build your emotion as you dance, and you learn the steps together. It's everything is a quick gratification, wham, bam, thank you, man. And that is not going to grow relationship.
Right.
I'm just from the old school, slow and steady. Okay.
Thank you for that. I'm so glad you said that, Renee. Thank you. You're going to have to come in here for one of our segments on this, right?
No. Yes.
In a couple of weeks.
I'm going to be in there.
Yeah,
I definitely
I can have you on the phone
too.
Okay. All right, down to really 1 minute.
Quick.
1 minute.
Okay. So really quick, I just want, what's happening? Since we're on a dating subject, I just wanted to bring up a quick little fun thing that's happening on April 10th. It's at Bella Lucia Boutique. It's a sip and shop, and it's about all the summer, spring, fling clothes that you can wear on a great date, on a great first date. They have giveaways. They have champagne and hors d'oeuvres and wine and all the new spring fashion. So if you get a second and you can come, it's Thursday, April 10th, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. And the address is 3006 West Swan Avenue. And it's Bella Lucia, and they are on Instagram. It's BELLALUCIA _ Tampa. Now, really quickly, there is the NCAA Final Four. If y'all love basketball, that's happening this weekend. You can check that out at WFFTampaBay.com. It's Busch Gardens Food and Wine. We have Friday night, the 4th, 8 is Soulja Boy. And then on Saturday is Village People. Last but not least, Mainsail Art Festival is happening in St. Pete. It's the 50th annual art festival. Check it out. It's at the Vinoy Park. Free admission. A bazillion artists. It's Friday and Saturday. And you could check it out at VinoyPark.com or St. Pete Mainsail Art Festival.
Okay, Renee, thank you so much for all that information and your input. And I look forward to having you on the show about dating as well. It'll be a lot of fun. I'll arrange a date for you to come. Thank you so much.
Have a great weekend.
Thank you. And I also want to remind everybody, when you go out, put your eyebrows on. Benefit, best eyebrows right now. And I've got other eyebrow pencil Benefit for all your Benefit babes before you go out. Just saying.
Have it on right now.
So thank you all for being here. Ed, thank you. And I always end on the Shrink and Wrap show here at TAN Talk Radio with a closing statement. So put your love to the test. Don't go for second best, because the right person will make you fall in love with yourself. Let's take a listen to Madonna's advice on express yourself. We'll see you back here next week on the dating segment. Shrink and Wrap. Have a great week.